back on Poke Nation. Jim Gazzolo, Heath Schroyer, big week for McNeese last week, maybe even bigger week this week all of a sudden. All right, I'm just grabbing my popcorn. I sit down in my chair. I'm going to watch the basketball game, and then like every other shot, there's your head. I believe you look for camera angles and sit accordingly. Is that right?
No, not at all. Honestly, I got there kind of late, and I was talking to people in the crowd, and I got there like the last 10 minutes or so of warm-ups, and it was the only seat left was right behind the bench. I really wanted to be in the back so that you had because there's no chair backs there. But yeah.
That is, Sharp Gym is everything a gym is.
It is a gym.
It is a gym. It is a bandbox. It is.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's that. We can get into stuff like that later on. But I want to get your opinion on this. As the AD, as a guy who's seen this program grow over the last 5 years, and where it's come from, what did it mean to see that many people show up for a Monday night game in Houston on the road for McNeese basketball?
It just shows you, number one, the passion how passionate our fan base is, and when you win, it's magic. And we obviously have a huge alumni base in Houston,
yeah.
And a bunch of them came out, but there was a group of people here in Lake Charles that drove up for the game, and but I also. I honestly, winning is a big part of it, but a lot of it goes back to Coach Wade.
Yeah.
And I know we talk a lot about, what he's been able to do on the floor, but he totally embraces this community.
Yeah.
He is. I mean, every time it's never, hey, I got to do prep, I got to do this. It's never that.
No.
We play 2 games a week, and anything I've ever asked him to do, from a speaking engagement or anything like that, it's always yes. He always has time for people. He's just an amazing ambassador for this department and this program, and I think he set the bar, in my opinion, of what head coaches need to be nowadays. 100%. I mean, it's the days of just locking yourself in a room and watching film. Those aren't head coaches. Head coaches have to be CEOs. They have to obviously coach, but it's so much bigger than that. And I think a lot of it is that, you can see it on our home games. I mean, the tunnel here, when the guys are walking out and coaches walk, Coach always stops and takes a picture with people, and he's just an unbelievable ambassador, and what he's doing for this community, you can't put a price on.
Yeah, and to that point, I know you don't read the paper, but on Thursday I actually am going to write. I've written already what it's like to watch him work before a game. He's not up in a room. He's not watching video. Last time he was taking pictures, signing autographs right up until the game, eating a hot dog, standing in line at a hot dog stand.
Yeah.
Very, very engaging guy that understands you got to sell the program, and that I think has made a tremendous difference in this program.
I'll tell you this: he's a workaholic. He works his tail off, but he never forgets that it's about people. And I was laughing because he literally the last game he was standing in line.
Yeah.
Just waiting on a hot dog to pay his money to get a hot dog.
So he comes out here. He's eating a hot dog as he walks in. Some woman comes up and says, "I want a picture." He hides the hot dog behind his back. It's hilarious.
Really.
Dean Smith would never do that.
No, but he is. He's a man of the people, and like I said, I think he set the bar for. And part of that obviously is his personality, but I think that he set the bar. What head coaches are, and especially in the 2 major sports, what they are today. And I think that it's easy for people to get behind a program or people when they embrace them.
Yeah.
And they go out and listen, he was at most of the volleyball games. He went to softball games. He goes to the baseball games. He goes to football. He goes to everything. He's never met a stranger, and I think it's really neat. And I think now you're starting to see the fruits of those labors. Yeah,
a complete ambassador of the program and the school. Yep. Completely different from what I think a lot of people expected when he got here. A lot of people thought he's going to serve his time, rehabilitate himself, and get out of here.
Well, I'll tell you this: I've told a lot of people this, that for the amount of success that Coach Wade has had, he treats people that can't help him better than anyone I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it just, whether it's facilities, or it's, the people who clean the arena, or, I mean, it's just, he is, so it's easy to like a guy like that. And obviously winning helps, but the support that he has gotten, a lot of that is from just the organic relationships he's built.
And he's built the team now 22-3. The all-time winning record as a Division I pro. 32 is the all-time record, I think, when they won the NAIA title. But as a Division I is 23. They can tie that at Nichols on Friday, or they can set that on Nichols on Saturday. If they win that game, essentially they'll be the number 1 seed, because it'd be almost impossible for you to see them lose 3 out of the next 5 and lose all the tiebreakers. So it's a big game, but this team's in tremendous shape.
They're in a great place. I think that the loss at Southeastern allowed us, or allowed them to kind of get back and refocus.
Yeah. Retake a pulse.
The other thing that I think that, and Coach and I, we usually talk after each game, but the thing that I told him last night that I've been really impressed with as a coach is how he manages the weeks. Right, so the Saturday Monday split. Okay, so what he does on Tuesday, what he does on Wednesday. So how he manages the week, where those guys are in tip-top shape, but come game days, they are ready to go.
They're ready to play. They have their legs.
They have their legs. But he spends a lot of time in film. He has vitamins every day where they come in and take their vitamins. They still lift. They have treatment. I mean, it's a real program from top to bottom. And but I've really, really been impressed with how he manages the week.
Yeah, it's been amazing. When we come back, Christian Shumate, star forward of McNeese State, and also the creator of the ShuSlam, will be with us on Polk Nation. We'll see you right after this.
Whether it's an injury case, a property case, or a business dispute, our lawyers are at the top of their game. Ask anyone who knows us. At Veron Bice, we don't enter popularity contests. The only ratings we care about are the verdicts we've obtained for our clients. Ask anyone who knows us.
Serving the community of Southwest Louisiana since 1954 and a loyal supporter of McNeese State University for over 30 years, Southwest Beverage has provided scholarships to students, supported athletic programs, and sponsored the Banner Series since its inception. We pride ourselves on being the premier beverage supplier in Southwest Louisiana, offering an extensive portfolio of beer, spirits, and non-alcoholic beverages. We're Southwest Beverage, and we want to say thank you for your support.
Ever since I was young, I've known what I wanted to do. Sure, I had some guidance along the way. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But eventually, I had all I wanted. Family, career. It went by fast. Now I'm here. Retirement. And thanks to sound financial planning, it will be all I hoped for. And our children will have a secure legacy. For me, retirement is the next great chapter in my life.
Ferdinandson Financial Group. Let us help you make a plan.
If you're frustrated with your bank and feel like this when you leave, make the move to Lakeside Bank. Voted best bank in the People's Choice of Southwest Louisiana. At Lakeside, the sun is shining, we have the best personal banking, and our customers are always smiling. Find your way to a brighter financial future. Bank happy. Bank Lakeside.
Welcome back to Polk Nation. It's a pleasure. Christian Shumate, welcome back to Polk Nation, my man.
Thank you.
So,
Chicago guy.
it wasn't even 5 seconds and you had to throw that in there.
Should be noted, I played against Bloom in high school. Oron Gilmore and Raymond McCoy.
Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, are you a Bears fan?
Yeah, I mean, they're not very good. They haven't been very good.
Oh, they haven't been good for a long time, but you know.
Yeah.
But they are still what they are, the Bears, right?
Right. Yeah.
All right, okay. Let's get the real stuff.
We go there.
So obviously, we're 10-1 in conference, right? We just tied the record for most wins in school history. You were here when before Coach Wade got here. You were here for two of the worst seasons in the history of the program, and now you're part of the best season in the history of the program. So tell me what has been the difference. Tell Poke Nation what has really been the biggest difference.
Probably the culture, the culture of the team, the environment that Coach Wade has done a great job of creating for us. But yeah, those two things, it kind of just drives the whole.
What about the culture though? You know, like what is it? Is it the relationships he has? Is it the what do you think is made the culture what it is?
Probably the care for each other, the care for the teammates, the staff to us. We all care for each other, so it's kind of like we just want to do everything for each other. So it's kind of like the bonds that we have is super strong, and that's what carries us to, want to do the things that we do.
Other question I have is, your game has really evolved in the last year. What has it been, kind of obviously you have to put the work in, right? But from a coaching standpoint, because I get this question asked a lot, is what has been the difference for you, why you're playing so much better? You're like an entirely different player this year than you were before. What went into that?
You said it. The work. Talked to a lot of, my dad, and just in the off season, talking to a lot of people close to me, and changing my mindset on a couple of things as far as what I had to do to get to the next level and evolve in my game, and that along with the work and just changing my mindset kind of started to help me evolve as a player.
All right, let's get into the real stuff here. Last night, you've been on ESPN 4 times before on Plays of the Week, Plays of the Night. But last night, you get an entire segment where they show all 4 of your dunks. What does that mean for you, and where did the name ShuSlam come in?
It was big for me. I'm starting to become a household name, sort of, and that's big for me. I'm enjoying it, of course, and I'm thankful, of course. And the ShuSlam name came from the shirts that we did. Shumate, I slam all the time. Dunks, it's kind of just like ShuSlam.
So where do you come up with your dunk ideas? Because it seems like they're getting more athletic as you go, and you're trying to one up yourself. The other night you said you're number 1. Did anyone last night make your number 1?
The lob.
You like the lob?
Yeah, I like the lob.
Okay, so the ShuSlams, what's it like for a college guy who last year lost 23 games and had very little, could walk around and no one knew who he was, to all of a sudden have your face on shirts?
It's crazy, honestly. It was a complete 180 from last year. It's just unbelievable, honestly. I don't even have words sometimes to, like you said, you can go places and people won't even recognize you, to now it's like, it's hard to go places when people don't recognize you, so it's been crazy.
Right now, as we do this, as we're taping this, we're actually showing highlights of you this year from P.J. Mitchell on the McNeese staff. But back to the basketball facts of this. It's great to be able to do all that stuff. But being a better basketball player, how have you improved as a basketball player outside of the athleticism?
My shooting, honestly, it hasn't translated as much as I wanted it to necessarily, but the confidence has been there. That's all I've been doing in off season, putting up countless number of shots, catch and shoot threes, working on my handle and putting it on the floor, and just kind of, taking those steps to evolve in any ways that I can.
Well, Christian, a lot of people might not know this, but when the coaching change happened, you put your name in the portal, and you left for a time being. What made you decide to come back? Was it just Coach Wade and getting to know him, or what was the big reason that you wanted to come back to McNeese?
Yeah, Coach Wade was probably the main reason. We started to build that relationship right away, and I just felt like I can trust him, and honestly, just out of everybody that I was talking to, he just kind of I can go along with what he was saying the most. I kind of gelled with what he was saying the most, and along with that, it kind of just made the most sense. You know.
Well, Poke Nation's glad you made that decision.
Yeah, me too. Sure.
When we come back on Poke Nation, we'll talk more about Christian and the change from this year, and also what next year could bring after this.
At Veron Bice, we don't enter popularity contests. The only ratings we care about are the verdicts we've obtained for our clients. Ask anyone who knows us.
If you're frustrated with your bank and feel like this when you leave, make the move to Lakeside Bank. Voted best bank in the People's Choice of Southwest Louisiana. At Lakeside, the sun is shining, we have the best personal banking, and our customers are always smiling. Find your way to a brighter financial future. Bank happy. Bank Lakeside.
Ever since I was young, I've known what I wanted to do. Sure, I had some guidance along the way. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But eventually, I had all I wanted. Family, career. It went by fast. Now I'm here. Retirement. And thanks to sound financial planning, it will be all I hoped for. And our children will have a secure legacy. For me, retirement is the next great chapter in my life.
Ferdinandson Financial Group. Let us help you make a plan.
Serving the community of Southwest Louisiana since 1954 and a loyal supporter of McNeese State University for over 30 years, Southwest Beverage has provided scholarships to students, supported athletic programs, and sponsored the Banner Series since its inception. We pride ourselves on being the premier beverage supplier in Southwest Louisiana, offering an extensive portfolio of beer, spirits, and non-alcoholic beverages. We're Southwest Beverage, and we want to say thank you for your support.
Whether it's an injury case, a property case, or a business dispute, our lawyers are at the top of their game. Ask anyone who knows us.
We're back on Poke Nation with Christian Shumate, junior forward, transferred from Tulsa at one time, and also suddenly the biggest national basketball name in McNeese history since Joe Dumars, right? I mean, he's getting more attention than anybody.
He's getting a lot.
Let's ask you this really quick. The decision to come here, the decision to stay here, now all of a sudden you hear Will Wade next year. What flipped for this program that makes it so much more fun for you? Obviously, that's the biggest thing. And how much are you enjoying this year?
I mean, the biggest difference is winning. Winning changes a lot of things. And what was the second part that you said?
Well, you also said something interesting earlier in the year. You said, I took lessons from winning, but I also took lessons from losing. What did you learn last couple of years that you could apply to this year?
Just all the lessons, you know. When you lose games, it's like you see the reasons on why you lost, and it's all about just not making those same mistakes. And some of the guys we got on the team, they might have not been around as much of it, or you know, they just starting off their college career. So I'm just more so focused on relaying that to them, and you know, giving my experience to them and showing them what it does take to win, because I know what it takes. The other side.
You know, it's funny though, but you know, as a former coach, sometimes you have to lose to learn how to win.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's you know, it's just part of the cycle and part of the, you know, the change, and you can see that you have a lot of fun on the court, right? And if people come to practice, you can see that you guys have a lot of fun. When did those bonds?
I don't know about so much in practice.
Well, you know, good point. But you know, those bonds were established a lot in the summer, right? I mean,
for sure.
And you know, I've always said that the teams that truly bond together off the floor, there's something to it. Talk about what you guys did in the summer to you know, to have the camaraderie that you guys have right now.
I mean, the summer was crazy. We our workouts. Coach Wade put us through some tough things. We had to get through some tough things together as a team, and along with that, we spent countless number of hours together. We were always together, and I mean, we enjoyed doing that though. everybody on the team enjoys being around each other, and it's a brotherhood. So that sort of just came along to now. Nobody ever changed up anything they said or did, and we kind of just became a family.
Yeah.
Who have you heard from that you hadn't heard from in a long time since you've been on ESPN and some of those things? Are you hearing from a lot more people?
Yeah, I'm hearing from a lot more people.
People want stuff now?
No, not necessarily. I don't want to say want stuff, but yeah, it's been a lot. I kind of just been trying to stay focused on everything that's going on. I mean, obviously I'm thankful for it, but I just kind of take a glance at it and try to keep it moving. Don't try to get caught up in it too much.
You talked a little bit last week about giving back to the crowd that comes. Obviously, you had a huge crowd at Houston Christian by comparison to what they even had. Yeah. You're selling out this building. What does that mean to you, and how much does that go into wanting to be a crowd pleaser at times?
I mean, it's huge. We talk about it all the time. The community and everything that the city's been doing for us lately it's just been tremendous, and I mean, we're thankful for it. And yeah, sometimes when I go do some of those dunks, I think about the crowd. They already kind of loud and stuff like that, so I'm gonna turn them up some more.
What do you? Let's kind of stay on that. What do you? I mean, this community obviously is. You guys have captured it, right? And winning does that. But what has this community meant to you on a personal level? Obviously you came here a couple years ago from Tulsa, and all the trials and tribulations you went through, but what does this community really mean to you?
I mean, it's everything. Been here 3 years now, and it kind of just accepted me and starting to become who I am. I mean, I got on cowboy boots right now.
No, I saw that when you came in.
So you know what I'm saying?
And you have a hat too, right?
You
have a cowboy hat too.
I was going to ask, what's a kid from Chicago doing wearing cowboy boots?
Yeah, exactly. I love it here. Yeah.
It's awesome.
You wanted to ask him what he wants to do after school?
Yeah, so we talked a little bit off camera, but at some point, Christian, the ball is going to stop bouncing, right? It stops for everybody. What do you see yourself doing when you're I think you're obviously going to have a long playing career, but when that's over, what do you want to do?
Well, I always kind of had two things in mind. I really like animals a lot, so I kind of always wanted to do like almost like a animal sanctuary type thing, rehabilitation type thing, just to be around animals, or I wanted to like own a restaurant and like be the main cook in the restaurant.
Be the cook in the restaurant?
Yeah.
Do you cook?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you cook? Okay, so if you're going to have me over for dinner, don't take him. But if you're going to have me over for dinner, what would you make me? What's your go-to?
I would probably do a ribeye, couple sides probably, or I'll probably do a surf and turf. I'll do a surf and turf with ribeye, some lobster tails, baked potato, loaded baked potato. Depends on what vegetable I'm feeling that day, but simple but good.
Yeah.
Don't invite him because he will show up.
For sure. For surf and turf, are you kidding me?
I guess the last question for this is, we'll let you go on this one. Is the best dunk still to come?
Yeah, for sure.
I love it.
Yeah.
Saving it for the tournament?
Sometime soon. So.
Christian Shumate's been our guest on McNeese. Watch them. They play Nichols Saturday, big game. We'll be back with Coach's final comments on this.
Whether it's an injury case, a property case, or a business dispute, our lawyers are at the top of their game. Ask anyone who knows us. At Veron Bice, we don't enter popularity contests. The only ratings we care about are the verdicts we've obtained for our clients. Ask anyone who knows us.
Ever since I was young, I've known what I wanted to do. Sure, I had some guidance along the way. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But eventually, I had all I wanted. Family, career. It went by fast. Now I'm here. Retirement. And thanks to sound financial planning, it will be all I hoped for. And our children will have a secure legacy. For me, Retirement is the next great chapter in my life.
Ferdinandson Financial Group. Let us help you make a plan.
Christian Shumate coming off a big week, ESPN. Also, he had 13 points, 10 rebounds, his 28th double-double of his career. He's closing in on that record. But also the team 105-54, their biggest win in Southland Conference history, 51 points.
On the
Did
road.
not see it coming that much,
Yeah.
but very interesting. But not the only topic on campus. We got some other things I want to ask you. Okay, softball goes 4-1 the first week.
Yep.
Has a pretty good weekend, bounces back from a tough first game. Brings in number 22 Baylor tomorrow, tomorrow night, Thursday night. Number 1 Oklahoma, twice they'll play them over the weekend. What does that mean for you guys to get those people in here?
I think it's great. I mean, obviously, Coach Langino has built a great program. I'm really excited about where they are. We've had so much success in softball, even before Coach was there, but obviously Coach has taken it to another level that we're able to now attract, real top 20 teams to come in here. I mean, you think about getting Oklahoma, the
Two-time defending national champion, number 1 team.
the number 1 team in the country to come to Lake Charles and play McNeese it's an amazing deal, and I'm excited for our fan base. The Oklahoma game, it's sold out. We'll sell standing room only tickets, but it's great. It's phenomenal for that program, and it's phenomenal for us.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing to see. I think it's the first time now that somebody from FCS may have come in at number 1. I can't really figure that out yet. I have looked back. But it's definitely the first time a top division number 1 team has ever played here. But it's also, you got the defending national champs that came here for the spring in baseball.
That's right.
That came here for the fall game.
Yeah.
I mean, people like the facilities.
Well, listen, and it goes back to what I've said all along, right? Like, there's no reason, okay, in today's Southland that we should not be year in and year out at least in the top 3 of this league. I mean, our facilities are better than anyone in our league. We have an unbelievable fan base. I mean, think about it. We were, we didn't win a football game, and we still had 4,000 or 5,000 people come to watch us play football.
Hey, led the conference in attendance.
It's, with football, new $1 million locker room. I mean, it's just so, it's. Our facilities are really good. Baseball's facilities are going to get better. We're going to do some things in the weight room that you'll hear about here very soon. So we want to continue to invest and continue to grow our program. But make no mistake about it. I mean, we in today's Southland, there's no reason why we shouldn't be in the top echelon. Every year, hey, I was a coach, so there's always, a year here and there, but we should be consistently in the top 3 in every sport we compete in.
And just so you know, baseball not ducking anybody. They open with 3 games at number 8, Texas A&M.
I love it.
You play people. You get noticed.
Absolutely. And look, you have to play people. I think it's great for the brand. Everything we do is part of the big picture of expanding the blueprint of McNeese, expanding the brand of McNeese, which all in turn, I truly believe, will help us grow enrollment. Because that, again, the biggest issue, not only here but across the country,
colleges.
is growing enrollment. And your athletic program has to be the front porch and has to have success and has to be student driven, where you come to a basketball game, the students are having fun. It's part of something bigger than themselves, and all those things go into the big picture of the mission of the university.
Softball sellout, basketball selling out, Gatsby selling out. You're just a salesman.
It's a great time to be in Polk Nation, my friend.
Well, we'll be back here next week on Polk Nation. No Polkcast this week. That will return next week from Mr. Bills. We'll see you then.